Hey everyone, it's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great morning. It's Saturday morning. A little cool out there today, but nice and sunny day. Today I want to continue my series on albums you need to listen to, and I've chosen this masterpiece, Civillian by Gentle Giant. Before I get into it, please hit the like and subscribe button below. Thank you to all that have liked and subscribed so far. I greatly appreciate it. I want to continue to put great content out there to be informative and to show you guys some great bands and artists that I have in my collection. So for those of you that aren't familiar with Gentle Giant, they're an English progressive rock band formed in 1970, and they were active till about 1980. Their music is complex, and all the band members were multi-instrumental. It's just an amazing group of musicians. They weren't a commercially successful band, but they just were under the edge as far as going over the top and being more famous. They should have been. But they'd have a cult-like following with a lot of their fans. Their music included progressive rock, rock and folk and soul and jazz and classical music. And in 2015, they won a Lifetime Progressive Rock Achievement Award. The albums that I currently have is an amazing album, The Power and the Glory. Quite a complex album, perhaps, but perhaps not one to start off with when you're getting into Gentle Giant. It was their sixth studio album, released in 1974. It was actually the band's favorite album. Gentle Giant's favorite album. Then I have the interview. So I should start off with the band members. John Withers on drums, Derek Shulman on vocals and sax, Ray Shulman on bass and violin, Gary Green on guitars, and Kerry Minier on keyboards. So Interview was their eighth studio album, released in 1976. It's a concept album conceived as a radio interview, and three of the tracks start off with a brief radio interview staged in a studio. Again, another unique listen. But the album I want to speak about, and the album you need to listen to, is Civillian. So this one has Gary Corrine on electric guitars, Kerry Minier on synthesizers, electric piano, Hammond organ, Derek Shulman on lead vocals, Ray Shulman on bass and acoustic guitar, and John Withers on drums. So Civillian it's their 11th studio album, released in 1980. It's also the final album released by the band as well. It's full of great rock songs, closer to hard rock than it is to progressive rock. It was both a critical success and a commercial failure because it differed so much from their previous albums. Their cult followers, or their faithful followers, didn't really accept the album all that much when it first came out. Again, negative reception upon its release. It's shorter songs, and a lot of radio stations refused to, and record stores radio stations refused to play it, and record stores refused to carry it. I totally disagree. The album rocks. If you treat it as a standalone album and not group it into the rest of the discography, it's an amazing album. Great guitar riffs, lots of catchy riffs as well. Easily accessible, easily listened to, and compared to, say, The Power and the Glory, which is a complex album on its own, but an amazing album just the same. Songs have a lot of energy, and it's kind of a fitting end to the band's career. And there's not a bad track on the album itself, I feel. And again, on its own, it's not the prog that most people are familiar with Gentle Giant, but it's just this great straight ahead rock and roll and amazing album. So I'm just going to play a little bit from it. So it starts off with Convenience, Easy and Clean. Sorry, my dogs are freaking out in the background there. I don't know what's going on. Come on, here we go. There we go. All Through the Night. Great opening riff. Shadows on the Street. And we have Number One. And then we have Underground. Starts off with a subway sound. I'm just going to push it just a little forward. I Am a Camera. Inside Out. One of the slower tracks on the album. Just push it forward just a bit. Yeah, it's a nice slow. And then it ends with It's Not Imagination. Great album. Please check these guys out. This is definitely an album you need to listen to. If you want to get into Gentle Giant, this is the album I would believe to start with, and then slowly progress into the other albums. Octopus is another album that I've yet to get, but it's an amazing album as well. Check these guys out on Spotify. I'll be putting a link to the Spotify playlist below for this album. Thank you for watching. Again, please like and subscribe below. Thank you to all that have liked and subscribed. Have yourself a wonderful day, and take care. Bye-bye now.